Hey, thanks for coming back to the channel. I want to talk a little bit about a subject that I just found out about, and it's some technology that a guy named Tim Kennedy is apparently a YouTube Second Amendment person, an MMA person, and he was on a Joe Rogan uh, podcast a while back and recently, and talked about this product or slash company that he is a part of. And what it does is it uses AI. What does that mean today? Film at 11, right? But uses AI kind of technology to go and find information that's available publicly about you, what you've written, anything that is publicly available about you. Anything you've posted, anything anyone has posted about you, right? So any information that's out there about you that is not legally prohibited from this kind of software or AI thing. The purpose, the purpose is to determine whether you are of good character and a responsible person enough to exercise your Second Amendment right. In other words, to acquire a gun or even ammunition or any kind of arm for that matter, because it could be used for anything. Because the idea is to determine if a person is responsible and of good character. And in there somewhere is this idea of, are you a danger to someone? And how imminent is that? The idea is, if we can find out about a person, because everyone knows 4473 is a joke. I mean, it's a, you know, you self-declare. And the only time it's a problem is if you get caught doing something and then they check and now you've created a federal felony. But in the meantime, unless the NICS system comes back with information about you, then you're going to get your gun. I mean, that's just how it works. What this would do, and here's where it gets really sinister. Remember, the Bruin decision says there can be no good character or responsible person criteria for allowing a person to buy a gun, or in this case, to carry a gun or get a permit. So those two things are gone as far as governments are concerned. Governments. This tool is for the private sector. What private sector? FFLs. So FFL would have use of this tool to, in addition to you going through the 4473 and the NICS background check, the FFL would go in and use this tool, and it would come back with information about you. Now, I haven't seen it work. I mean, personally, I think it's right up there with the smart gun kind of technology, right? But the idea itself and the fact that people are trying to use AI software, and I'm very familiar with all the AI stuff, that's what I do for a living. This is dangerous. This is dangerous because where does the information come from? How would your privacy be protected, right? And here's what gets really sinister. Of course, an FFL is a private business. They can choose to use whatever tools or whatever software they want to use to run their business. If they wanted to use this to vet people, they are certainly lawfully able to do that. They're a private business. But here's where it gets nasty. Since the federal government on their own can't do that, they could make it a requirement. They could make it a requirement that in order to get an FFL license, you must use this technology. In order to keep your FFL license, you must use this technology, right? And they're going to say, it's up to you, FFL, to decide. Good character, responsible person. And trust me, the federal government or any other government would then require certain reporting, right, from the FFL back. This is a very sinister use of technology. I mean, you might have written something 4 years ago, 3 years ago, whatever, that the software might consider a flag, right? You might have had some kind of charge. See, a lot of that stuff is public record, right? And it doesn't have, in this kind of technology, can just go find it. It doesn't have to wait for NICS. So how accurate would the information be? Now, if I was an FFL, I'd better have something that's really, I don't want to get sued by a customer for violating their privacy or denying them their Second Amendment right because somehow I got bad information as an FFL. See how that's working? So this is an idea, and it's Tim Kennedy, and the company and product is called DoubleCheck, and it uses AI. What AI? I don't know. I haven't gotten into the details of it. I think, again, it's right up there with smart gun, that whole smart gun thing. But just because someone is thinking about doing this is a danger. Now, Tim Kennedy will come and say, well, I'm all for the Second Amendment and I do training and, I love the Constitution. My thing to him is then you need to just close this shit down because nothing good can come of it. There is more option for abuse from the federal government to the FFL, which then would mean from the FFL to a citizen. There's way too much complication in there. It is fraught with opportunity to damage a citizen. So that's something I put out there. You folks think about it. Go look at DoubleCheck. Go check out Tim Kennedy. He's got some videos out there that are recent. And you can decide for yourself, but just keep your ears on now because you might hear this coming up, especially from anti-gun people who are going to use it as a lever or a bludgeon for Second Amendment supporters. So why wouldn't you want this? Why wouldn't you want this? It's right up there with why wouldn't you want background checks? So that's my story this morning. I'm sticking to it. Please check it out. Check it out. Comment down below on what you think just of the idea. Do you agree, disagree? As always, subscribe. My subscription level is flatlined. I don't know if I'm invisible now to people. But please check your subscription status. Make sure you hit the bell icon. And as always, wherever you can, whenever you can, however you can, carry on.